Now, I shared this not too long ago over on the podcast, but as a professional DP and cam op, the one item that has been requested the most when I show up on set hasn't been one of my reds, but it has actually been to bring out a director's monitor, but more importantly, one with a wireless transmission system. And for the longest time, this was my setup. I was rocking these guys. These are the Axoon CineView SEs. I also have the HEs, which are for my cameras with HDMI. And these have been an amazing staple to my kit. It has made things super easy. But not too long ago, Axoon actually released these guys. These are the big brothers, so to speak. These are the CineView Master 4Ks. And for everything that Axoon was doing right in the previous model, they have definitely stepped things up with these guys. And what's insane is what exactly they packed into these transmitters, especially for the price. Now, obviously, when you hear the name CineView Master 4K, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that, yeah, these things can transmit a 4K signal, but not just 4K, 4K at up to 60 frames per second. And that's because there's a lot of new tech that's in here, especially some brand new proprietary tech. For example, these are the very first tri-band wireless transmitters. Using Axoon's new transmission protocol, they can actually transmit at 6 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, and 2.4 gigahertz. This means that if you're using this on set with a lot of other wireless transmission devices, you're going to be able to ensure that you get a quality connection. But more importantly, you're going to get insanely low latency. This is the first wireless transmission unit, to my knowledge, that has actually broken the 30 millisecond transmission latency. Axoon actually claims that these guys can transmit at a latency level of 25 milliseconds. So what does that mean for us? Well, this means that you can absolutely use these guys to pull focus and everything in between. Now, the one thing to take into consideration is that it isn't going to be the exact same latency across all use cases. For example, if you're going 1080p out at up to 50 or 60 frames per second, then you'll be able to get that super low latency. But if you start to crank up your output to 4K, for example, that's obviously more data, so the latency is going to be a little bit higher, but still, even at 4K, it's completely usable. Now, in the kit, you're gonna get two units. You're gonna get a transmitter and you're gonna get a receiver. And these guys are equipped to work with just about any camera out there. For example, if we start off by taking a look at the transmitter, on the body itself, you're gonna find a SDI input. So this means you can go out of pretty much any professional cinema camera. You also are gonna have an HDMI in and an HDMI output. So if you want to actually daisy chain your HDMI through this, you absolutely can. But something else that's super unique on this guy is the fact that there is a USB-C output. Now, this actually goes into the tech that they created with their CMOS system, which means that you can go USB-C directly into an iPad or an iPhone, and you can actually output that video signal directly into a mobile device and use their app. I'll have more information on that in just a second. But then also, you're gonna have a Sony NP battery slot on the back, and then you have a dial here along with your screen in order to be able to navigate what exact channel you want to be on. And then over on the receiving side of things, again, trying to make it work with just about anything, you're gonna have an SDI out and an HDMI out. So that way it doesn't matter what monitor you want to go to, you absolutely have that capability. And it's not just with these two units that this whole thing works. On top of being able to go out hardwired to a mobile device, you can also, using the app, wirelessly go out to another device. So this means that if somebody has an iPhone or an iPad on set, you have a client who's on set, you can absolutely have them download the app and then they'll be able to have direct access to the wireless feed as well. Now, when it comes to outputting to different devices, a single transmitter can actually output four wireless signals. So this means that not only can you send out a direct signal to the receiver, but then you can also connect an additional iPad or iPhone or even an Android device using the new app. Now, the app has recently been updated, which is fantastic. So now you actually have the ability to not only use all of the pro features within the app, but also they have the new LUT feature. So now you can actually record directly to your mobile device. Now, I know one big question that a lot of people have when it comes to wireless transmitters is, well, how does this stack up? Well, when you're looking at Axoon or DJI or even Hollyland for that matter, the new 2.5 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, and 6 gigahertz tri-band technology within these guys here are actually going to allow you to get that super low latency that, based off of the tests that I have seen as well as heard from Axoon, that it is actually faster than even the new DJI transmission. Now, one thing to keep in mind is I personally haven't tested that, so I'll try to get my hands on those other wireless transmitters to confirm that test, but it is exciting to see that you're getting such amazing quality out of something that is honestly a fraction of the price. Now, each unit can be powered using a NP battery, or you can even use a dummy to D-tap NP battery on the back of this, but there also is a DC on both of them as well, so if you wanted to power it that way, you absolutely can. So what if you're on the fence and you're trying to decide between going with the SEs, which are a little bit more affordable, versus the 4Ks? Well, here's basically the way I would tell you to look at it. First off, there is a significant size difference between the two. The 4Ks are going to be a bit beefier, and so on the wrong camera, I think it could be difficult to actually rig this guy, but it is also a bit heavier as well, so you're gonna have to take that into consideration when it comes to your camera package. Also, when it comes to the difference between the two, the SEs can actually be powered via USB-C. Where you're gonna see your biggest difference is gonna be slightly in the latency, but also in the range. So the distance between the wireless transmitter and receiver. When you're working with the 4Ks, you just are gonna be able to get a lot further, and this is going to come in handy especially if you're doing like car sequences or you're in a very crowded area where there's tons of different wireless transmission systems going on. You're going to be able to find your channel and get a solid connection with these guys just a hair better. As far as I'm concerned, it is obvious that Axoon is starting to take a step in the more professional market, which I absolutely love, because over the years, all of their products have been such high quality that I can only imagine what's going to happen if they continue to put their foot on the gas when it comes to making even better products for us on set. But thank you so much to Axoon for sending these guys out for review. Also, if you guys have any questions about these, or you have any questions about which one you should get, go ahead and throw those down below in the comment section as well, and I'll do my best to answer as many comments as I can. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.